Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to 8th century Vietnam, a period simmering with discontent under the rule of the powerful Tang Dynasty. For nearly 200 years, the region, known as the Protectorate of Annam, had been a frontier of the Chinese Empire. But beneath the surface of imperial control, a powerful desire for independence was brewing. In the heart of this volatile landscape, a hero would rise, a man whose name would echo through the centuries. Phung Hung. Our story begins around the year 776. The Tang Dynasty, though still a formidable power, was showing signs of weakness. The devastating and Lushan rebellion, just a couple of decades earlier, had shaken the empire to its core, and its grip on the distant southern provinces was slipping. Local officials, far from the emperor's gaze in Chang'an, often grew corrupt and oppressive. In Annam, the governor, Gao Zhengping, was known for his heavy-handed rule and crushing taxes. The people were suffering. Their resources were being drained, and their patience was wearing thin. It was a powder keg waiting for a spark. That spark was Phung Hung. Hailing from Huong Lam, a region famous for producing heroes, Phung Hung was a man of extraordinary strength and charisma. Legends say he was strong enough to fight tigers and was deeply respected by his community. He wasn't just a strong man, he was a natural leader who felt the pain of his people. He saw the injustice of Gao Zhengping's administration and believed that the time was right to reclaim their destiny. Together with his brother, Phung Hai, and a band of loyal followers, Phung Hung began to organize a rebellion. They weren't just a disorganized mob. They were a movement fueled by a shared vision of freedom. Word of their uprising spread like wildfire through the villages and towns of Annam. Peasants, local clan leaders, and even disillusioned soldiers flocked to their banner, tired of the Tang yoke and inspired by Phung Hai's courage. The rebellion kicked off in their home region. With tactical brilliance and sheer determination, Phung Hung and his forces began to capture one Tang outpost after another. Their early victories were crucial. They not only secured weapons and supplies, but also boosted the morale of the people, proving that the seemingly invincible Tang army could be defeated. His brother, Phung Hai, commanded a significant portion of the army, and their coordinated attacks kept the Tang forces constantly off balance. As their influence grew, they set their sights on the ultimate prize, Tang Dynasty, the capital of the Protectorate, modern-day Hanoi. This wasn't just a military target. It was the heart of Tang authority in the region. Taking Tang Dynasty would be a monumental statement, a declaration that Annam was no longer under foreign control. The Tang governor, Gao Zhengping, was now in a full-blown panic. He had underestimated the strength and popularity of Phung Hai's movement. He scrambled his troops, trying desperately to fend off the advancing rebel army. But Phung Hai's forces were relentless, their momentum unstoppable. They laid siege to the capital, surrounding its formidable walls. The siege of Tang Dynasty was a grueling affair. The city was well fortified, and its defenders fought fiercely. But the pressure mounted day by day. Inside the walls, fear and despair began to set in. Gao Zhengping, seeing the writing on the wall and overwhelmed by the stress and fear of the siege, fell ill and died. His death shattered the morale of the Tang defenders. With their leader gone, the will to fight evaporated. Seizing the opportunity, Phung Hai's army stormed the city. They took control of Tang Dynasty, not as conquerors looting a foreign city, but as liberators reclaiming their home. The fall of the capital in 791 was a pivotal moment. For the first time in centuries, the people of Annam had a ruler of their own choosing, a leader who was one of them. Phung Hung stepped in to govern the region he had freed. He established a new administration, one that aimed to be just and fair, a stark contrast to the oppressive rule of the Tang governors. He was more than just a warlord. He was a statesman who understood the importance of winning the hearts and minds of the people. He worked to restore order, reduce the tax burden, and listen to the needs of his subjects. For his just rule and his incredible feat of liberating the country, the people bestowed upon him a title of immense reverence, An Kai Ji Vi Bang, which translates to the Great Father King. This wasn't a title he took for himself. It was one given to him by a grateful populace. It signified that they saw him not just as a king, but as a protective, fatherly figure who had rescued his children from hardship. Sadly, Phung Hung's reign was tragically short. Just a few months after taking control of Tong Binh and beginning his work of rebuilding the nation, he passed away. His sudden death was a huge blow to the fledgling independent state. A power vacuum emerged, and his son, Phung An, inherited the throne. However, Phung An lacked his father's charisma, strength, and political acumen. He struggled to maintain the unity and momentum that Phung Hung had so masterfully cultivated. Meanwhile, the Tang Dynasty, having had time to regroup, was not about to let its southern province go so easily. A new, massive imperial army was dispatched under the command of the famed general Zhu Gu. Faced with this overwhelming military force and internal instability, Phung An made a difficult choice. Instead of fighting a war he knew he couldn't win, a war that would surely devastate his people, he surrendered. The Tang Dynasty re-established control over Annam, and the brief, shining moment of independence seemed to be over. So, was it all for nothing? Absolutely not. The story of Phung Hung, An Kai Ji Vi Bang, became a powerful legend. It was a story of courage, of a local hero who dared to stand up to a mighty empire and for a time succeeded. He proved that liberation was possible. His rebellion planted a seed of national identity and defiance that would continue to grow. The memory of the Great Father King would inspire future generations of Vietnamese freedom fighters. His uprising was a critical chapter in the long and arduous struggle for Vietnamese independence, a struggle that would eventually triumph. He remains a celebrated figure in Vietnam today, a symbol of the unyielding spirit of a people who refuse to be subjugated. His legacy is a testament to the idea that one person has courage can change the course of history and light the way for a nation that says freedom. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Vietnamese history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. We'll see you next time.